Hello and welcome to day 27 of the CoronaBLOG, April the 27th. My name is Mark Brophy, some background information and what I currently do. We're continuing with our series of interviews around the world, and today's country is India. We'll look at the current situation, the money moving through to companies and the view on the rest of the world. So, in India, the Prime Minister is Narendra Modi, and he's been the Prime Minister since 2014. He has an approval rating of 68%, which a week ago, the last measure, was the highest in the world. So he is the most popular leader in the world at the moment, within his own country. And India entered lockdown very early. So, we're going to ask a few questions. We're going to ask name and occupation, area of the country, the situation, is it improving or is the worst yet to come? Has the government protected employees? What financial assistance have companies and families received? And the view of Italy and China. And after the lockdown is over, what things does he want to do? Okay, good afternoon. So, can you tell me your name and what you do for a living?
My name is Raja, and I work with several European companies, predominantly Italian companies, for their greenfield startups in India.
Perfect. Okay, and whereabouts in India do you live?
I live in a place called Chennai, which is the southern portion of India.
Okay. And generally speaking, the situation with coronavirus in India, do you think you are past the worst and the situation's improving, or do you still have more difficulties ahead?
Looks like we could be having difficult days ahead because we've hardly crossed, we've tested quite a lot and we've just crossed less than about 35,000 people who have tested positive. But the better news is a lot of people are getting cured.
Okay, that's good. Now, looking at how the government is helping people. So first of all, with employees, in many countries, the government is trying to protect people's jobs. In India, what is the government doing?
The government is issuing advisories saying that no company should lay off or dismiss employees, but there is no direct support from the government so far for that. Most of the companies here, like in Europe, are medium-sized companies. So all of them have paid their, meet their commitments to the employees for March. Now, the question of salaries for April, when it comes, we have to see how the whole thing pans out, because some companies are strapped for cash. Some companies want to pay. Some companies want to, split it up into two. There are varied views on this, but the government has issued an advisory that everybody should pay, but there's no direct support from the government for this.
Okay. Apart from then the employees, is there any form of support for the company? Maybe not for salary, but for other areas of the company? Is there anything from the government?
Not so far, but there is a lot of talk about some support which is going to be announced possibly in the coming week. But as of now, there is no direct support.
Okay. And apart from companies, what about individuals or families? Is there any support for families or for individuals from the government?
For families below poverty line or on the borderline of poverty, there is substantial support from the government by way of distribution of groceries and eatables through the public distribution system, which is pretty strong in India. Each state takes their own decision on this, but there is a support from the government for the people below the poverty line.
Good. Okay. And looking at the world from India, what's your reaction in India towards how the situation was handled first in China and then in Italy?
I think half the things didn't come out of China. What really happened, not many people are aware of it. That's the general way people think in India. But in Italy, maybe it got out of hand because possibly, things started a little late. The lockdown and things like that started a little late. This is the way people look at it from the Indian perspective.
Thanks. And on a personal level, Raja, what one or two things are you most looking forward to doing when the lockdown finishes in India and you can get back to some form of normality?
I think normality is a different normality now. But
Sure.
people like me are not really used to work out of home for long time. Maybe looking to get back to work out of my office with a few people around me, people who have worked with me for long.
Okay, thank you very much. Very, very interesting, and good luck with the future in India. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
So his name is Raja, and he's a consultant working for many Italian companies. He lives in an area in the south of India called Chennai. Situation in India, we're quite early in the development in India, so probably the worst is to come. The government, because we're very early, has not implemented many measures yet, so there is no specific protection for employees, but the government wants people to keep their jobs. Again, there is no specific financial help for companies. For families, for individuals, yes, food is being supplied to people who need it. The view on China, well, he doesn't believe that China communicated exactly what happened. And with Italy, the situation is due to the fact that Italy didn't act very quickly at the beginning, is the opinion in India. When lockdown is over, well, when lockdown is over, he wants to return to a normal life, whatever that normal is. Okay. The population of India is 1.35 billion. That's a lot of people. The total deaths on the 26th of April were only 826, so very low. Here we can see a development of the deaths. For today, we've looked at India. We've looked at the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, with a very high approval rating. We've had an interview with Raja, and we've looked at the number of deaths in India. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.